Yo, how's it going everybody? You got Sketch here and welcome back to the channel. On this episode we're looking at one of the games from the creator of Crystal Breaker, which we played a while back, and I've been playing through more of their eclectic catalog of retro-themed shoot-em-ups. This one pulls from favorite and prolific franchises while doing its own thing with its gameplay and art style. We're checking out Terra Flame, developed and published by Terarin Games, releasing on the PC in 2022 and later ported to the Switch in 2023. In preparation for playing Blaze of Storm, I wanted to go through more of the developers' games, all of which are inspired by 90s arcade and console games. The story is brief, but I'll break it down for you in short. The Starfish supercomputer has gone berserk and begins attacking humanity. Operation Terra Flame is initiated to fly from low orbit into the central control room to shut down its operating system and save humanity one laser barrage at a time. Gameplay wise, you've got a 2D horizontal shoot 'em up that will take you through 8 stages of frantic encounters and numerous waves of enemies. Your ship has 3 onboard cannons facing forwards and backwards, and a homing shot that can get to most of what's on screen. You can power up your main weapons 3 times and get rolling units that orbit your ship and provide extra firepower. The roll unit also lets you charge your shots when you stop firing, that will have a cooldown between each use. The defender will let you take 3 additional hits or collisions, but otherwise it's 1 hit and you lose a life. The gameplay feels a lot like the later Thunder Force games since you have all your weapons right from the jump, and getting upgrade levels up all weapons across the board. When you get the hang of switching weapons based on encounters, you can put in some work on the Starfish minnows. You can shoot through green colored bullets and missiles, but everything else has to be dodged, otherwise you will take damage. Considering enemies will be coming from all sides of the board, being able to comfortably switch between weapons or dodge incoming fire will be crucial to mission success. There are tons of bonuses you can get by chaining downs together and grabbing gems that fall from enemy crafts. There is a catch with the gems, however. If you get shot down, you lose all collected gems as they do not stack on single runs. This makes massive multipliers possible, but 1 hit can quickly snatch that from your grasp. You can also adjust your speed on the fly by hitting the right shoulder button at any time during gameplay. Each stage is a score attack scenario leading up to the end boss encounter where you can get bonuses for time left on the clock, hit percentage, combo counts, and gems collected that all add multipliers to your score. Boss encounters will have weak points to target, and the faster you can down them, the better your score. You can also get no miss multipliers if you can complete a stage without being hit, and bosses will start off challenging in a similar vein to core shooters, and it will be a dance of threading through their weapons while trying to dish out enough firepower of your own. There's also bonuses for completing the game on 1 credit, and this adds an even bigger multiplier to your score once you complete it. Graphics wise, Terra Flame is running on the Game Maker engine that many of their games are built with. Much like Crystal Breaker, this has a feel of TurboGrafx 16, late NES, and Sega Genesis games, and absolutely cooks visually. Terarin Games certainly proved early on that they could pull some great visuals out of the engine and create some action set pieces that not only call back to the past, but are challenging, well-crafted stages. Stage designs will have a good bit of parallax scrolling as you get closer to the central control center of the Starfish, and you get some dynamic stage hazards that will be familiar to shoot 'em up veterans like fire waves, narrow corridors, and general onslaughts of enemy craft. Throughout their catalog beginning in 2016's Image Striker, the progression is undeniable as their games will continue to get more visually dynamic, leading up to their newest release, Blaze of Storm, which we'll talk about next episode. The action stays dialed, throwing numerous enemies on screen, and chaining them together not only provides bonuses, but also sets the screen on fire with its frenetic combat. You get several enemy types from smaller crafts, mechanized suits, and star destroyers that all lead to that stage's boss. Boss crafts are all massive with several moving parts that often have lasers attached to them, and heavy weapons in certain enemy chains will have indicators, so if a caution sign pops on screen, it's best to just get out of the way. The sense of speed on each stage is noteworthy since it stays fast-paced from the beginning. Even when several enemies are on screen, it never loses a step when the action gets intense. I really like how this references games like Life Force and the Thunder Force series with its gameplay and visual aesthetics, and I can imagine others would likely notice the same once they see how similar these parts are. Through the game's 8 stages, you'll take down numerous enemies and its end boss that all have a fair amount of animation. The bosses get progressively bigger, and on the last 3 stages get visually intense and are the most difficult seen in the game. Stage 8 has a boss rush leading into the final encounter, and this is a craft that rotates fire around the screen, forcing you to thread through flames and lasers. Sound-wise, Terra Flame is awesome with the soundtrack and audio work from composer Hiroki, who once again lays down some slamming tracks throughout the game. The tunes slap from start to finish and stay hype with its Genesis-style composition. This game has some infectious grooves through Journey to the Starfish supercomputer, and also lists the tracks throughout the game so you can have a note of what grooves are your favorites. It also has an original and chiptune arrangements, both of which smack. Sound effects are nice and punchy here with some pronounced audio as your shots connect with enemies, and explosions having several layers of crunch. The sounds of charging your weapons is unmistakable as you prepare to unleash the fury on your enemies, and getting upgrades and bonuses also have modulated voice lines along with finishing each stage. This voice is something that will be seen again in Crystal Breaker and future Terarin games moving forward, which is neat to see how traits of each game first appeared and how at times games they are seeing again years later. Terra Flame is a great indie shoot 'em up that wears its influences on its sleeve and crafts an awesome game in the process. Their philosophy of making games that have the retro feel that are approachable certainly shines through here once again. While the game is no cakewalk, experienced players may get those one coin clears quicker, but if this feels too easy, the higher difficulties do get challenging and are recommended to try. The shoot 'em up that's easy to pick up, and once you get a read on how everything works, you'll be frying starfish in no time. Terra Flame gets an 8 out of 10 and comes recommended to fans of shoot 'em ups and retro action games. This is a good one for newcomers to learn, and on the higher settings, challenging to all that may step to it. In the catalog of games from this developer, this is a solid outing alongside being an awesome horizontal shoot 'em up in general. It is $20 on the Switch eShop, and occasionally it goes on sale every once in a while. And if I can find a physical copy of this at some point, this is a certified pickup. This also has online leaderboard, so you can see how your scores stand against the rest of the globe. Terarin once again proves to be a developer to keep an eye out for, and we'll be looking at their newest release in the next video, so stay tuned for that in a couple weeks. It has been fun to go through Terarin's back catalog, and each title has been more unique and extremely fun, and absolutely worth checking out if you're into shoot 'em ups in any capacity. And I thank you again if you made this far into the video, and if you find these videos helpful, that's awesome, glad to use it as a resource. Check back out and we'll have more reviews and commentaries come up in the near future. But until then, take it easy and stay safe out there. I'll see you on the next one.